everyone, and welcome to Vinegar Based Sound, where we talk about recording tips, live sound tips. We'll have reviews and guest speakers, and basically talk about all things audio engineering. So, if you like this video, if you could hit like and maybe subscribe to the channel, so you can stay up to date with everything that's going on in the audio world. So let's jump right into it. So I was talking to a drummer friend of mine today, and he had some questions about kick drum EQ. He was wondering, he said, you usually use two microphones with our group. How do you EQ a kick drum with just one microphone in order to make it stick out in the mix? Because we got kind of a garage band set up. So I was like, sure, I can help you out. So I'm going to go into a little bit of how I approach a kick drum. So we're going to go to a session that I have right here of a band that I had previously recorded. And I'm going to solo the kick drum, and we're just going to listen to how it sounds right out of the gate, no processing. First of all, mic placement's going to go a long way for all this, but let's just assume you know where to put your kick out in order to get a good sound. Let's dive into a little bit of equalization. So I'm going to bring up a favorite of mine. This kind of represents a console here. The SSL Channel Strip 2 by Solid State Logic. We're going to go ahead and turn off the dynamics so we can just focus on the EQ. So where I like to start out first is having a high pass filter to get rid of the miscellaneous information that we don't need to about 30 hertz. Because we don't really hear much of the range down there anyways. And it'll just start us out with a good base to build upon. And if you listen to the track, there's a lot of drum bleed from the other instruments in the track. So what I will do as well is take my low pass and bring it down to just take some of that shimmer off. Maybe even down as low as 10 kilohertz, but I'll leave it a little high and then try to bring it down as we go. So let's try this again. Okay, so that sounds a little bit cleaner already, just taking that miscellaneous information out from the bottom and the top. Let's roll the track and listen to it with the filters not engaged. So with the beginning stages of the EQ not engaged. So it still sounds pretty good to start out with, but when we engage the EQ, you can definitely hear that the kick drum kind of is a little bit more clear, has a little bit more clarity to it. Now, let's focus on the fundamental of the kick drum. So, kick drum is going to sit around between 60 and 100 hertz, depending upon how your drum's tuned. I like to start at 60 hertz and kind of use my ear, work around there to find a good fundamental there. I'll activate this this curve right here, so it's not doing a low shelf, because that would contradict the high pass filter. And then we will search around and see if we can get a good solid nice solid fundamental going on. Here we go. Yeah, they're right around 65 hertz is where I'm hearing. And I've just got a light 2 or 3 decibel boost right there to just emphasize the fundamental of the drum. Now, if we can take a listen, EQ disabled, EQ in. Just gives it a little bit more of a bottom end solidity to it. So now let's focus on trying to get it to sound even tighter. Some of these frequencies down here are in between, I would say, the upper 100 kilohertz to around 400 kilohertz is going to cause a little bit of some mud every once in a while. I don't hear much in this recording because of the mic placement, but if we just kind of specify our just shrink down that band a little bit, maybe to about an octave 70, and then just cut around 280 a couple decibels. Let's see what that sounds like. Definitely cleans it up a little bit, and that's just bringing that EQ down just a hair, not that much, just about 2 or 3 or 4 dB at a relatively moderate Q. That's good. And then I just want a little bit more of the beater in it to get that articulation to stick out in the mix. So we'll go around the presence area. This particular chart is kind of rock hip hop hybrid. So kind of like pop rock, but definitely heavier than your mainstream pop rock. So I'm going to go maybe around 4,000 kilohertz and give it a real low, moderate Q and just a slight boost in that area. And then I'll sweep around this area to try to find out where that beater articulation is sitting nicely. Yeah, definitely right there. Just getting a little bit more presence out of that articulation. And then I'm just going to go here and just add a little bit, maybe just add a little bit of breath back into this. Yeah, that's definitely more present. Okay, let's A/B this a little bit and see if we can hear the difference. So I'll start it out with the EQ out, and then I'll bring the EQ in, see what the difference is. Oh yeah, cleans it up a lot. You've got kind of that softer thud here. Now you've actually got some articulation and fundamental in the kick drum. Then if we add just a little bit of compression, now we should stick out right in the mix where we want to be. Here we go. Yeah, that's definitely a lot better. Sits in the mix a lot better. The instrument itself sounds a lot better on its own. That's a basic rundown of how I like to approach the kick drum. So just to go over, low pass to get rid of the high information that you don't need, and to kind of tame the bleed of the cymbals and all the other miscellaneous sound that might be coming in through your kick drum mic. A high pass to get rid of the information that's not really necessary for human hearing. It's more of a feeling. Emphasize the fundamental. Take away some of the mud. Find where that beater is nice and articulate, and then maybe add a little bit of top end if you feel like it's necessary. if you follow these simple theoretical guidelines, you should be able to take your kick drums, no matter the situation, even if it's a old, inexpensive, small band equalizer on an analog console that doesn't necessarily sound very good, you should still be able to take it and make your kick drum, no matter what setting you're in, sound the way that you would want it to sound due to mic placement, drum tuning, and a little bit of carving out of the EQ to just emphasize the natural sound of the drum. So I appreciate you guys watching this, and hopefully I'm going to get better at this so we can, as we go along, I can develop as a presenter and you guys can develop with me as engineers. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and hit like if you like this video and want to see more content. But you guys all have a good time doing your projects, and just let me know down in the comments what you think about my approach and what your approach might be towards equalization of the kick drum. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later.